stories earlier, but I was too busy planning trips. So first time I've told a story, my wife is very established at this. I'm actually a surgeon in Lancaster, and I can tell you I've been here 24 years, and I know a lot of other surgeons in the area. And if you had to say, especially my generation, if you weren't going to be a surgeon, what would you be? Any guesses? So surgeons tend to be on the more competitive side. So believe it or not, probably the most common answer is professional athlete. We're delusional to some extent. But by high school or college, most people realize they don't have the genetic makeup for that. So probably one of the next most common ones is pilot or astronaut. And even in middle school, I thought I was going to be a pilot. But I took a whole different route, no less years, mind you. So after 15 years after high school, where you read hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of pages and manuals and now online, started my first job in Lancaster at the age of 32. And surgeons, sort of have this innate sense sometimes where they kind of have a feeling that patients are about to do something bad. They're not going to do well. With one fatal flaw, they're not the best patients. So when it comes to them, perhaps not the best. So this actually is a true story, to the best of my recollection, that just happened a few weeks ago. So my wife and I planned the travel, and we were going down to Charleston to visit some friends. And it was a Friday that we were going to fly down, and I was operating all day in the hospital. And I kind of started feeling a little queasy, like just not quite right in the afternoon. I hadn't drank very much, I hadn't eaten very much. So finished up the day, went home. We're going to load up the car and drive down to Baltimore to catch our flight. And the whole drive down, I'm thinking, there's something just not quite right. So we park, get into the airport, check our bags, go through security. Now I'm sweating bullets. I'm going between profuse sweating and chills. So the alarm bells, that I should know and that we've read, tens and thousands of pages, there was just something that I wasn't connecting. So we decide maybe we just need something to eat. So we go to the little diner in the Baltimore airport, order some food. I take one bite and I'm like, there is something wrong. I have to throw up. So I stand up, perhaps, as it turns out, a little too quickly, and I walk out of the little diner thing toward the restroom. And it was literally within a second. I had just rounded the corner out of the, eyes of my wife. The walls caved in, everything went black, and I passed out. And I didn't wake up until my head bounced off the floor. So I was flat on the floor of this restaurant, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm stunned, I'm still a little nauseous, everybody comes rushing over to help me. After a few minutes, they ask if I was traveling with anyone. Yes, I am. So they run and get my wife, the paramedics come, I have really low blood pressure, I have a slight fever. It was determined not by me, I didn't make the diagnosis, but by other people that we were not flying to Charleston that night, and instead I got taken out of the airport in an ambulance, or in a stretcher to go to an ambulance to go to a local hospital. So I become the patient, and wasn't feeling too great about that, but after much ado, get to a hospital, they check me out, my blood pressure was really low, I was dehydrated, I probably had a virus. I didn't drink or eat anything all day. It was a whole combination of things. It took 4 more hours. We decided to leave the hospital at 10, drive home, and I was thinking, I'm really, really sore. I felt a little better, but I was just where my head hit and everything. So if I'm not feeling better the next morning, I'm going to go to our local hospital and get checked out, which I did. So after a couple of CAT scans, everything comes back clear. I'm feeling a little bit better. I call my wife and I said, can you be the travel planner for just once and book us, see if they can get us out this afternoon. Now I will tell you that most physicians, it's not in the manual to tell their patient, you just passed out, go ahead and fly. What could happen? So we load back up, and I wish that was the most traumatic thing that happened to me that weekend before we got to Charleston. We load back up, leave Lancaster at noon, drive back down to Baltimore. I'm actually feeling pretty good, except extreme soreness. So we park again, get through security, check our bags, walk past the scene of the crime. You know, I still see the body outline on the floor. And everything's going a little bit better, and we're starting to walk to our the hallway to go down to our terminal, and I see this guy that had literally just fallen. There's a couple people running over to help him. I could not run. I made my way over, and there happens to be a woman in scrubs standing over him and another guy. And I'm like, I'm a surgeon, can I help you? And the woman looks up at me. She's dressed in hospital scrubs and says, I'm a surgeon as well. I'm a hand surgeon. The guy says, I'm a paramedic. Oh, this is a good start. So the guy is purple blue. We end up doing CPR on him for a minute. We put shock pads on, shock him. This is a scene. He had hit his head. He was on blood thinners. There's blood everywhere. There's families walking by. Within a minute, we actually get him back. He had no pulse. He was not breathing. So we get him back right in time for the police and the paramedics to show up. And the one paramedic may have taken care of another fall victim the night before, recognized me. I wanted to get the hell out of that airport, and there was a mix of, should we go? Is this a sign from above? We go to Charleston, make it there, have a great time. We ended up going because there was actually a tennis tournament that we wanted to see with our friends. So as I'm sitting there in the match, feeling maybe just a little queasy, maybe I could still be a professional tennis player.